there's this constant walk of an outer purpose and outer success and an inner purpose and an inner success, and getting the two to work together. That's to me where power is. It's not about $1
I
million or $5 million. That to me is where the power is.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm joined by Christina, who's been making some serious moves in real estate for about 3 decades now. Christina, welcome in. Glad to have you.
I'm so glad to be invited to the show. We just had this great free conversation. I'm sorry you guys didn't get to hear it because it was really, really great. We're like, oh yeah, we agree on that. Oh yeah, we agree on that. That's really great. What does it mean to really authentically, like 30 years, I've been at it for a while, right? What does it mean to authentically have the grit, the mindset, and the basis inside yourself, that sense of purpose and focus to make your real estate portfolio successful? Because it isn't not an overnight thing. It's something that takes time, right? So
It does. It's the ultimate snowball effect if you'll just keep going long enough. One of the things I love about real estate, and I think I agree, our pre-recording call was awesome. All y'all wish you could have heard it, but we're going to bring a lot of that good stuff right out of here, because what I think our listeners are really going to get value of is the way you approach how it is what you do. And that is very important when it comes to real estate. It's not just what it is that you're doing, but the whys behind it, how you're going about it. Is it actually creating the life you want? So let's dive in on that. For people who may not know you yet, what's your main focus right now and what markets you operate in?
Okay. So I do a variety of things like a lot of people do. I run 2 meetings a month. I teach real estate. I have actual students. I am a consultant in real estate, and I actively invest both in my own projects, but also I do joint ventures with other people, and I'm a GP. So I have all the string of things that I do. But I think what's most important, and the thing that I get the most joy out of personally, and I love real estate investing, so not to demote that, is what does it mean? I work with mid to high net worth individuals and families on what it means to use real estate as a tool for getting to your life's purpose, to living a life that is satisfying and anchored in the purpose and joy you want to be experiencing. Real estate's a tool, guys. I mean, I don't want to diss it. I don't want to disrespect it, but real estate's a tool for getting to being able to cultivate and craft a life that you want to be living. And the being, who do you want to be while you're living that? It's an amazing journey, because real estate's a journey, when you can say it's about me guiding it and me being the best me I can be. Therefore, I'm satisfied at the end of every day, whether that deal worked or not.
Right. And I love that viewpoint of it, because it's the beforehand, it's the zoomed out part where it's so easy to jump into real estate for money and strategy tactics and all the things. And you could never think about the part you're talking about and still have a very successful career. However, when you do add this portion in, all of a sudden, so much clarity arrives. so much, it releases the rush that you feel in, because you just want closing days, you just want offers, you just want
Yeah.
those parts, but you
Yeah.
start to realize how much the in between matters, really down to that day to day life. Am I actually, one, living a life I enjoy, and am I doing the things that will keep creating that life?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, and in some ways it's a dual planning, because I'm a financial advisor, right? So we're planning, all about planning. And I'm a geek. Truth is, I'm a geek. Okay, so I love geeks. I love geeks. I'm a total geek, right? But it's about planning. Like, how do I want to live, and then how does my money grow so I get there, right? So there's the planning on both sides. Like, you asked me a question, which I think we'll get to later, about like, well, what's 2026? Right. And I don't mean to hijack your flow, and I
Oh,
apologize.
go ahead.
But there's this external focus and internal focus, right? Like all of life, right? There's an
Right.
external focus and an internal focus. And I just, I won't answer the question because I think you have it planned for later. But the point being that if you're really highlighting what it is I'm passionate about, and what it is that I bring to people, and what it is that is cultivated in my community, and people who want to work with me, and people who want to talk to me, and people like, the people who like what I'm up to, is there's this constant walk of an outer purpose and outer success, and an inner purpose and an inner success, and getting the two to work together. That's, to me, where power is. It's not about $1
I
million or $5 million. That, to me, is where the power is.
I agree. It's true alignment is what's happening. Like, you're
Yeah.
getting your internal world aligned with your external world. And at that point, the force to life goes away. And actually, then for me, when I was shifting in that mode in my own life, the pressure went away, that urgency, like anything that happened, it wasn't
Mm.
this reaction to solve the problem. It was actually the ability to just sit with it for a second, see it for what it was, and create massive amounts of space to be like, okay, now what? How does this line up with what I'm trying to do? Is it getting me closer, or is this taking me further away? And and then the next step, right? And it's constantly, there was a book I read about it called Bumpers, which was by a guy named Nick Peterson, who's very much about this. Like, when you know what you want to do, especially when you're a high performing person
Mhm.
that's worked hard, earns money, your issue is not typically action. It's not doing something.
Right.
Usually it's doing too much. You start doing things that aren't on the path anymore. And that's what his whole concept's about. When you can keep your eyes on what you want, then you know what to say no to. And then you can be really honest with yourself and then pivot. Doesn't mean you say no forever. It just means it's not right now. One of my favorite quotes is, the right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing.
Okay.
But the right thing at the right time, that's life changing. And it's that waiting game. But if you don't have that mindset, if you're constantly running, you're not available to see it.
Okay. Freaking beautiful. That's fantastic. That is so well said. Because like you just went across 3 different concepts there. So the first concept in my mind is I use discernment versus judgment, right? Like,
Mm,
we constantly, in general, we are tutored into being judgers. That doesn't
right.
work. That's stupid. I don't like that. Blah, 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 blah. But we're tutored into a state of judgment, but we don't have to live in judgment. We have absolute choice to be able to say, that train is coming right at me. I see its headlights. It is coming right for me. Right? Now, I could stand on the tracks and scream and yell and judge the train all day long for being in my blah, blah way. Or I could just go, maybe I should move 5 feet over.
Right.
Maybe I should just walk a couple steps that direction. And the simplicity and the ease when you move the concept of judgment or ego out of the way and say, I can truly just discern. And it'll go so far for me as like, ooh, that pissed me off. Let me put my phone down. I'm going to
Mm,
wait till I'm not pissed, until I'm back in a state of discernment. And then let me make a decision based on all the factors, because now it's not about my ego, and it's not about my pissed, and it's not about my need to be happy or my need to be rich. I've had that problem too, right? I've run into that too, right? Wanted to be super, I have my super fancy story about how I had my super fancy project and how it, bit my backside. And all I could do was look back and go, yeah, I wanted to be fancy. So I got into something that didn't serve me.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
That was why it failed. It didn't fail because it failed by itself or the economy failed. It failed because I wanted to be fancy. And that was probably a huge growth for me in understanding that judgment versus discernment isn't just anger, right? It's wanting to be fancy. It's looking good. It's sometimes it's even like, oh my God, what are people going to think of me? Just pure value or identity. You don't understand. This is what I do. That all those things can be in the way of you being able to just go discernment. And discernment opens the field up like you described so perfectly. Now all of a sudden you're like, I can just make a decision. Cool.
Right.
Now I can, is it value add or not? Is it cash flow or not? Is that serve my portfolio or not? Right. So the state of discernment is incredibly powerful.
And it's
Go ahead.
No, I would say it's just a choice too. It's available. That's when you discover that it's always available. And I was giving a talk a couple of years ago where I used the term, how you feel about how you feel is what's messing you up. The first one is just information. It's very important information. That
Right.
second thing you're doing, that's getting you in tons of trouble.
Not
And it lines
necessary.
Right. It lines up with what you're saying. We're built to be judgers and not discerners. Very much, I like that. I don't like this. I like this. I don't like this. Good, bad, good, bad. And most of the time, that is a waste of time. Who cares? Who cares if you like it or don't like it? Does it change what you need to do? Like the train. Awesome.
Yeah.
You don't like a train's coming at you. Does it change? It's about to hit you. No. Let's shift to the side a little bit and then it'll go by. I love that.
And it's actually inefficient, like you just described. And so sometimes, again, when you're high performers and you choose, like I'm involved in several different business models, as you kind of can guess. When you choose to be in discernment versus being in judgment, you actually get more time and you get more control over your time because you're just not spending time having the conversation. So it's great for high performers to get there, to choose that. And it's hard because we're usually high performers because of ego. But that's the
Right.
thing we have to surrender to actually get to high performance is the ego and to me, the projects are the same way. Like I was talking about that earlier, like outward action, inward action, outward action, inward action. I do outward action on a project. I don't like the water that's pouring, like literally I was watching a video yesterday going, there's water pouring through the floor. Okay. That creates an inward action, right? There's an outward action and now I need to do an inward action. I need to make a decision about that water pouring through the floor, So then it's like, okay, well, I can be pissed or I could, whatever, right? I can blame. Right. So I would actually, and my day is constantly a dance of that all day long and being able to steward inward action. So not to say the same thing again, but it is important to be able to cultivate that because then I think money naturally falls into play. Like control over time, control over money naturally falls into play. Now money becomes a representation of your values and not a representation of your identity. And then that creates more of what you are, more of your external life being a representation of your internal choices and values. That's when I think you have real power over money. It's when money is a representation of your values.
That is extremely well said because you get those in the wrong order and it does. You start looking at life different. And it's something we all are on this learning curve, right? It takes skill to get good at being human. That is like I am obsessed with it. How do I get good at being human? Right.
Yes.
I always say, if you're going to be a good human, get good at being human. Right. That's to me the ultimate goal because I started looking at myself And all
Yeah.
these are journals. I have almost 4 years of every day of the last 4 years written down. And to me, that's
Yeah.
data. I'm a geek too. I like to see without data, it's an opinion. I want to see
Yeah.
what's actually going on. And
Yeah.
then once I started to see that, hey, dude, you're the one in your own way. This is you doing this. You are
Yeah.
causing this, which
Yeah.
created the reaction, that heavy ego reaction up front of, well, blah, 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 and then, but you sit with it for a little second longer and it's like, wait a second, hold on.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
The cycle in my life keeps repeating because I keep doing this. Wait, what happens if I just get out of the way? And
Yeah.
over and over again, one of the coaches I was working with, we just called it rule of opposite. Most often it's the opposite of that initial reaction when you're up front in personal development, because
Mhm.
all we have are adaptations, in my opinion, at that point. You're in survival mode, and
Mhm.
every human has to switch. You've got to
Mhm.
get to that point where you can have that space. And that's where, in my opinion, just like real estate, the access is available to all of us. It's one of the few things we all can get access to, in a sense, that can change our life completely. Personal development part, and then leveraging a tool like real estate into creating the life you actually want to live. That's really possible. And if anything's the American dream, to me, that's it. It's
Mhm.
agency. That's what freedom means to me.
Mhm.
Real agency, not
Mhm.
some made up thing that it gets tossed around as, but internal. Just, all right,
Mhm.
I can choose this. And it's not because I'm just making it up or doing it for bad reasons or being misinformed. I have a pattern that I live where, okay, information comes in, sit with it, sit with it, sit with it.
Mhm.
And the more I've done that, the more I realize action becomes inevitable. It becomes obvious when to take it if you
Mhm.
just keep living it in steps. It's not like you have to guess or hope or wonder. All of a sudden, you're just there and you're like, this is what was one thing the day before it wasn't obvious to do. You just keep living out. And the next day, it's like, okay, this is what I'm doing now, which
Yeah.
kind of ties back into what you were talking about for 2026, which I want to dig into,
Sure.
which is that what do you focus on this year? And how is that internal, external world that you use to make choices affecting it?
All right. So, external, internal, right? So, external world. Okay. So we've just gone through 2 years of multifamily getting hammered because of the high interest rates. We're now starting to lower interest rates. That window is going to begin to close. Just is. It's just kind of the way the math starts to work. Yes, real estate prices does not always go down when interest rates go up. They have a common cause, which is usually inflation, which can cause real estate to go up at the same time interest rates go up, because real estate is a commodity and therefore it will appreciate at the same time that inflation is appreciating. But there generally is a break point, which we hit in multifamily, where multifamily started to go down because it hit the break point when we had too much negative arbitrage on multifamily buildings that were purchased, especially for buildings in 1998, 1990, 2020, 2021, 2022. That
Mm.
particular bracket, we ended up having we had negative arbitrage in those buildings. Now those buildings are fragile and they're coming to market. Not as quickly as I thought, though. Darn. I was
Yeah.
hoping for a little faster. They weren't there. Okay, but I've specialized in the 5 to 50 market. So I am getting some traction in the 5 to 50 market, and I was able to buy 3 buildings in the second half of last year. I think it might
Nice.
have actually been in the last quarter, and then I closed on another one this year so far. So I'm definitely getting some of the traction I'm looking for in that 5 to 50 range with the investors. So I'm watching the multifamily market, and when is it going to close in 2026? Is it going to stay open during 2026 and we can continue to have deals? Single family started to go down just now I'm seeing in Tulsa and Indianapolis, which is the primary places I invest. I'm starting to see single family is now starting to soften. Florida in particular is also softened. There are other states as well, but the two I invest in is Tulsa and Indianapolis. So now I've also doubled down again in buying single families. I do midterm rentals and room shares. Those are the assets I like to purchase and then basically buy a single family 4 and 2 and make it either a midterm rental or make it into a room share, which I will convert into an 8 and 3 or 8 and 4.
Gotcha.
Those are my favorite asset classes. That's my external world focus as far as that. My internal world focus. So I started with years and years ago, I started with a single family of my very own at 17 years old, and I owned it, and my mom gave it to me, and I rented it out to my aunt and uncle. Okay, so that's how I started. Okay?
Yes.
Right, just like pure basic 17-year-old going to college, don't know what the heck I'm doing. Okay, let's do real estate, right? So, but then I moved into some other single families, and then they highly appreciated because they were in California. So then in 2001, I moved into multifamilies in California, and then 2004, I was like flipping, and I owned in 7 different states. And oh man, it was really, I was so smart. Wasn't I smart? I was so
Right.
smart. Okay, no, I wasn't. The truth is the market was going up like gangbusters, and I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. And so in 2008, I was eating crow and dismantling a portfolio I had created. My daughter was born in 2009. So by 2010, 2011, I had sold every single door I had. All of them across
Wow.
every state, every place I owned. I sold every door, and I came home and I used that money as a hard money lender to people I knew, liked, and trusted because I had been in real estate for a while, and I raised my daughter. And so I was home with her, and I worked 2 days a week as a consultant, but I was home with her most of the time because that was my why.
Mm.
Why did I want to invest in real estate? Why did I want to build wealth? I wanted to be a blooming parent. And,
Right.
and based on my own childhood stories of my mother being a single mom entrepreneur, right, being a bit of a latchkey kid, well, definitely a latchkey kid. Let's put it that way. Definitely a latchkey kid. Raised by my sister, really, truth be told. Raised by my sister. And I wanted to be there to pick up my daughter from school. That was my why. I just wanted to be in her life and not be distracted by the need to earn money. And I reorganized my life is everything was falling apart because my commitment, right, was to be a mom. So I converted everything into hard money lending, worked as a consultant 2 days a week. And when my daughter hit kindergarten, I was like, okay, I can go back now. I can re-engage again. So I did. And I personally believe that we sort of have a wisdom greater than ourselves. And that wisdom was saying, yep, now's the time. Get your ass back out there. I'm like, okay,
Right.
fine. All right, fine. I'll go back.
I
I
hear
thought I
you.
at least had another year or two being a full-time mom. Come on. So I got back out there. But really what I discovered and then I started doing private equity, right? So I was doing private equity. But in 2026, the thing that I started lining up in 2024 for 2025, 2026, 2027 is I have intentionally and consciously not been a syndicator. I've been large and in charge. I've owned, I've kept control. I've had private equity that's shared the control. But now I understand, having seen 2 cycles, I feel like I can be a syndicator, but on my terms. I don't want 200 investors, people I barely know, trying to ride a cycle up on the 3 to 5 year timeline. Both cycles I've had a chance to look at were based in bad structuring, bad financial structuring of units of some kind, whether it's negative arbitrage like we saw in this last downturn, or whether it was bad credit scores like we saw in the previous downturn and too aggressive lending. And even then, 3% down, 10% down. Like that's a setup. So
Mm.
I want to do my own GP deals, which I am doing now. And I want to be able to say, no, 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 we're going to do 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We're going to focus on cash flowing properties as close to cash flowing day one as possible. And we're going to be able to ride the train of appreciation because appreciation is natural in a commodity compounding product, which is what
Mm.
real estate is. So I want to have 35 investors. I want to have 20 investors. I want to have people I know, like, and trust. Forgive me for being
Right.
arrogant, but people I know, like, and trust, people that I know I'm creating a fulfillment on the purpose for them. I become a vehicle that helps them get there. My clients and my students I know intimately what their purpose is, what their goals are, who they want to be, why they want to be there, and why they want to cultivate. And I literally have this one client who's like, but I want to invest with you. I'm like, that's really great, but it's not advantageous for you. See, if you borrow the money in order to put it in my projects, I don't have a project for you to earn enough money to make sure you're getting a better return than what you have right now. So no, you can't invest with me right now until I have a
Mm,
product that's going to give you a higher return than what you have currently. No, that's
right.
against my integrity. It's against my values. It's against what I stand for. A life of purpose and freedom. That takes that gets in the way of you having that life. I don't want
Mhm.
that. Like, it would hurt me to know I was doing that. Personal, personal feelings, personal point of view. So therefore, that's what I'm creating. So that's my expansion in 2026. So my outer work is doing more GPs, but my inner work is stop being so selfish. Like, I got find good deals. I know how to run them. I've been at this for a while. Stop being so selfish. Share my good deals. Let other people have access. Let other people live the life that I want to be living and live it next to me and live it
Mm.
together so that we can all get to that final point together faster. But it took me a long time to learn how to do it on my own terms in a way that felt integrous and complete, that it was about community.
Very well said. And it's a it seems like a natural point that you arrive at as you keep doing this, where you it real estate's funny about how it takes you through just life lessons. It's very much a people business. It's very much a relationship business. Once you understand how the math works, the rest is only people. You can't buy anything on your own. You need a team of people. You need attorneys and lenders and there's so many things that you need to have that
Mhm.
as you go along, it forces you to start asking yourself those questions. And you can tell the ones that override their own integrity, that override their own purpose, because they're getting later into their career and they're burning out.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
healthy anymore. They're not doing those things. And they build a trap, which was originally what they were not trying to do. And that's what breaks
Yeah.
my heart for a lot of entrepreneurs is you got into this with the best heart, but along the way, you built it in a way where it trapped you inside of it. How do we get you out of that? How do you get back to that place? Because when you have that financial paycheck being paid along with your emotional paycheck being paid, now we're doing something. Now you get something out of each day, right? You don't just need a closing, you don't need the day the money goes in, you don't need to sign a contract. You just need to do what's in front of you. And now you see a way clearer than you did before because
Mhm.
you lived through it. You went through the
Mhm.
hard parts and are able to say, and it's one of my favorite things about real estate and how big it is, it allows you to grow. There's not one way to do it. There's multiple ways. There's ways where if you're listening to this and you want to get into the business, you can partner with someone like Christina. Go through her course, learn about it, understand it so that then you connect to it in a way that's repeatable. It's actually going to
Mhm.
get you where you want to go. There's other ways too. It grows with you. And that's I have ADHD, and in my life, I grew up farming starting about 13, and I just went a bunch of jobs route. I did so many different things. And it wasn't until real estate that I found that room to keep growing inside the same thing. I was annoyed I was changing stuff all the time, but it was just in these tiny little boxes. And then I
Mhm.
got to real estate and was like, whoa, got started as a realtor. About two
Yeah.
years in, I met my first investor and I was like, what is this? This is amazing. Let me play in this world. Worked with him for a while and then adjusted again. And it's just been this constant refinement to where now I I worry about my day. I want 80% of my day to be doing things I enjoy doing.
Mhm.
20%, there's always stuff we don't like. I'll leave that for
Sure.
the 20%, but I want to take my kids to the bus stop every day. I
Mhm.
want to pick them up. I want to see them when I have them. They're from a past marriage, so I get them every other week. The week they're with
Mhm.
me, I want to be with them. I want them to be with me. It's why I work
Mhm.
from home. I built this life. Tried to started building it in 2014 to sit exactly where I'm sitting right now
Right.
so that they're literally inside the house. I have them this week and they're sitting in there. I got an 18-step commute home and I can check on them in between calls. It's my favorite thing, right? Like to
Right.
wake up and enjoy what it is you're doing, knowing I set this up on purpose. This is
Mhm.
intentional. And
That's
once
right.
it's intentional, then it's not so easily shaken. You can handle market cycles knowing it's just a market cycle. I'm not going anywhere. I'll figure out how to capitalize in this one and move on.
Yeah.
Other hard life situations, they all going to find us. But when you're operating from that place, they don't shake you down. You don't fall apart. You don't have to rebuild. And that's what I went through multiple times growing up was that rebuild, thinking you got to get torn all the way down over and over again until figure out, okay, hold on. The foundation's wrong, brother. You got something wrong at the bottom. We got to solve that down there
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
start building stuff because
Yeah.
you're building things on things that are already broken. So we're not getting deep enough.
Yeah.
And that was the last 10 years of my life is
Yeah.
literally understanding the question of, okay, why are you the way you are and all the ways you are? And
Mhm.
once you understand that, what do you want to do?
I
Go.
was 33 when I went, I'm the problem.
Mm,
I started personal growth at 25, but I was 33 when I really concretely went, this mechanism is the foundation. This mechanism is the thing that needs to change. This mechanism is the thing I have to create peace with and work on and get clear on. And then everything else becomes stuff that comes and goes. Like you said, you
right.
don't change your values, you don't change your ethics, you don't change your personality, you don't change who you choose to be as a human being when you're standing in the grocery store line. Like this is who I am and I'm going to stay
Yeah.
this way. And maybe some people are raised with that, like as a consistency, maybe they have it in their 20s, but I sure as heck didn't. I
Me
had to go
neither.
find mine. Like I really had it. And the beauty of finding it is it's now mine. It's mine.
Bingo.
Right? It
Right
doesn't go
there.
away. It's just completely mine.
And that is, again, personal development is one of my favorite things to talk about. And this is something I say when I'm working with people. As humans, our equality is only in the fact that we're human and we all come with the ingredients, but not the same recipe. I cannot solve yours. I've spent my entire life solving mine. That's what showed me that there is one and that the best thing I could do for you is solve me. And the best thing you could do for me is solve
Right.
you because neither one of us can help with that or do that for each other. Once we're both in that same alignment, now
Mhm.
what we can do is exponential. You reduce
Exponential.
friction. You're not fighting yourself as hard as you're
Mhm.
trying to push yourself.
It's funny because I have a master's in psychology. So one of the things I do is once I figured that out, and then I went and got my master's in psychology, and then I realized that being a consultant was more powerful to me than being a therapist. Right. So therefore consulting in first small business and then in real estate. Um, Being able to hear when people are making foundational statements.
Mhm.
Oh, you just made a foundation. Your desire to be a parent, your desire to have mastery in life so that you can respect yourself, your desire to express and cultivate. Like you were saying earlier, to tie these two together, you were saying earlier, real estate is so massive of a field that one, I love working with people because I can hear when they've hit that line and I go, there it is. That's who
Mhm.
you want to cultivate yourself to be. There's the beginning of your values and the declaring of your values you want. Like there's that, but real estate serves almost all of them. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just too in love with real estate, but it sure
Right.
seems to me like you can be an artist, you can be a geek, right? You can be about people, you can be a project manager, you can be passionate about, creating people better quality lives and you can be a landlord. You can be passionate about creating better quality lives and do city planning. There are so many things that you could engage in that's based on your values that real estate can be an expression of that I haven't hit the edges either. Like I have to intentionally keep myself in my rails, like you talked about,
Right.
so that I keep building mastery in this area, so that I
Right.
keep creating finer and finer products to be able to understand reach my goal, reach my sense of personal mastery. That it's like, no, I'm not going to do commercial. Don't stop looking at commercial. Get over here. Get back in your lane, Christina. Because there's
Right.
just so much.
It's an abundance of opportunity. And that's once you get into this business and learn how to say yes, your next mission is learning how to say no, how to keep that focus.
Yeah.
And then, like we've been talking about, slowing it down. There's no rush. You can't rush it. There's no way to do it. And you hinted at it too. What that one, especially once you find that stable point and you get your time back in a way that I remember that day where I felt life slow down, just like,
Mhm.
whoa, holy cow, this is different. Why did they feel so much different than the day before it? I was aware of it. I was present for it. I was I was in each moment and not narrating the moment, watching it from the outside, right? Trying to, am I doing this right? Am I doing this? And yes, I agree.
Okay.
Ultimately, I don't think
I
there's an
know.
edge to it. I don't
What you
think
have
there's
to
an edge
like.
to it. You can find a way. You can find a way. Again, whether that's you like to do the house or you just want to put the money in, whichever, there's all kinds of ways to participate.
All
All right,
kinds of
Christina, I could go
yeah.
on and on and
We could
on.
go on and on. I gotta be quiet.
I've loved our call today. So for the folks that are listening that they've identified with it too and be interested in possibly finding out more about you, making a connection, what's the best way to find you?
It's really pretty simple. So there's how to live a rich life.info, how to live rich life.info, or there's just my name, ChristinaSuter.com, SUTER, right? ChristinaSuter.com, or there's real Christina Suter on Instagram, because I am the real Christina Suter,
Boom.
right? Just saying. I am the real one, babe. Here we go. This one. There you go.
That's main
Um,
character moves when you hit the reel on the front. I love that.
but really just check me out. I have 2 meetings a month. I have a podcast. I have social media. Like, you can check me out all over the place. You can call me. My phone number, 310-463-5942. As a mentor used to say, eyeball to eyeball and belly to belly. And he had a little bit of a belly. So in his case, it might literally have been belly to belly. But like, this is a human business. Human is how we get it done. So my phone number, 310-463-5942. Let's just talk.
I appreciate you sharing that. For those that are listening and watching, you'll be able to find her number, her links in the show notes. Reach out to Christina, see if it's a good fit, connect, because she nailed it. This is a human business. Whether you've been doing it a long time or you're just getting in, nobody does it alone. And when you can partner with good people and grow with them, it's not just deals you do, it's a community that you build. And that, I can't tell you how much that just fills your life with value. So, Christina, again, thank you for being here. For those
Thank you,
listeners out
Micah.
there, absolutely. Thank you all for listening. If you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode, share it with someone else you think could get value out of it. As always, please subscribe to our podcast if you get value as well. We appreciate everybody that does. We've got more conversations coming up with operators just like Christina, who are out there building real businesses that are affecting real people's lives for the better. So thank you, Christina. We'll see everybody on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.